minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays all it is to be seafood. I always said this is I don't stay around people. Finding my own path like I'm writing my own sequel. Two-faced people all around, they be evil. 2021, you can never trust nobody. Good and bad thoughts on my mind, they be crowded. Pushing to get past his limits, then he see he bought it. Family work hard, but I never guess I'm found it. Came a long way in my dream, now I be drowning. Day dying, I got some hearts pounded. Multi-talented, my passion, I haven't found it. Yeah, in my home, I was never ever doubted. I'm here from a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays all it needs to be seafood. I always said this is I don't stay around. Successful I feel. All the memories come flooding back, hit different. I've changed a lot, friends list got thinner. Ain't tripping about enemies, true and stay hidden. He was lurking, so we made sure he went missing. Told the fakers to leave, but they wouldn't listen, they faulty. Now they gotta watch me glisten, they ain't silent. Like some snakes, they stay hissing. Spreading words and rumors, they gon' keep dissing.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. Your boy GFC Garman is back. It's been a minute. I want to come back for a while, but I said I will wait until the end of the season, because of the work schedule and all of that. I got a lot of work, changing times and family times, so I decided that I was gonna wait until probably this moment to really make my comeback. So now I'm here, and this time I'm here full time. I'm not sure if I'm gonna give, because the Premier League is over, but you got the FIFA Club World Cup coming up. You got a lot of stuff coming up. Even the Jamaican national team, you know, um, stuff like those. So this time around, I'm changing a lot that I want to do on my channel. I don't want to not gonna only cover the Premier League. I'm gonna cover, whatever football I watch, I'll cover. Back where I can watch a lot of games. I'm trying to make time to watch more games that I can watch, like Italian Serie A that I used to. One of the first league that I watched, way back in the days, and even the German Bundesliga, when you have like of Kaiserslautern was a massive team over there, So the Scottish Premier League, that one of the league that I watch. I used to watch way back in the days, when Henrik Larsson was at Celtic, and Reina from Rangers. So there's a lot of football going on, and this is a football channel. It's not only based on Chelsea, which I'm Chelsea first. I'm a Chelsea fan. So, but this is a channel where I used to cover like World Cup qualifiers and different. I have interviews with some former Jamaican national players or player that play in the Jamaican National League, because that's where I got most of my contacts. So I'm back. I'm back, guys. Trying to give you guys a video every weekend that I normally do, and if I find time during the week, I will surely try to put some out. Maybe do some watch along for the Club World Cup. Let us see where it goes from here on. But I just want to say, I'm glad that I'm here with you guys today. The Premier League is finally over. Liverpool have surely, worthy champions. They were the most consistent team throughout the whole entire Premier League. So, we have to say congratulations to the champions at first, and foremost, because Liverpool, they prove, to us all that they definitely, can can do it, and they did it. The start of the season, to be quite honest, where this is the part of the video where I'm gonna have to make a lot of apology, because I on Miss Melina channel, I think that I said Liverpool was gonna finish, I think, fifth. I think I did have Liverpool fifth. I have Chelsea, I think, third. Yeah, I did have Chelsea third. I think I did have Liverpool either fifth or fourth. But I know for a fact that I got Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, and I think Liverpool. Yeah, and I think Liverpool. So I have Liverpool somewhere in between fifth and fourth. You know, only if I go back to Miss Melina channel, then I probably can pull it up. But I think that was the my prediction for the Premier League. But I did get it wrong because I thought Arsenal would have done it this time around because Arsenal, you know, I know Man City was gonna fall off for a fact because if you watch football and you understand football, you know you can see that Man City was just this close from falling off, and I think this season would be the time when they would fall off. So Man City was a hit and miss for me because I can see where they don't fall, and I definitely can see where their team not progressing no more. They were regressing. You know, they were just lucky that Arsenal couldn't have done it, or unless they would have fall off a couple of seasons ago. But because Arsenal battled it all the times, and Arsenal didn't force them, you know, push them, you know, to and cross the line before them. So that's why you see Man City kind of get a little bit of a momentum, you know, which they always do in the last couple of games. They always find a momentum, but this time around, it was a little bit too late because Liverpool were more consistent than every other team in the Premier League. So congratulations to the champion, Liverpool. You know, well-deserved champion. You know, no one can sit here and say that Liverpool didn't deserve it. They did deserve it. They were sure 100% deserve it. Liverpool was a worthy champion. So when I say, you know, I'm sorry for because I get my prediction wrong with the Liverpool part, but you know, overall, I'm just gonna say to you guys, you know, that I'm really I'm really proud of my prediction because Arsenal finished second. They did not win the Champions League. They did not win the Premier League. That's a big plus. But I want to say congratulations to the Arsenal ladies for lifting the women um, Champions League. I think they're the first woman team from England to do so. You know, so congratulations to them. You know, well deserved victory over Barcelona. That team was kind of undefeated for a long time, you know, especially in the Champions League. You know, they've been hitting steam for 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So congratulations to the ladies from Arsenal. You know, they proved to the man there that they didn't worth anything at all. To be quite honest, you know, sorry Gunners, but I think that you need a better manager than Mikel Arteta. Then I want to go to the third team, Manchester City. You know, would Manchester City bounce back next season? Maybe, maybe not, because they're gonna have to do a rebuild. You know, because of a lot of players gonna leave, and you're gonna have new players come in, so they're gonna have to take a while to adapt to the system. So let us see how it goes from here, and let us see how preseason go for Man City or the Club World Cup. Let us see how it goes and how those new players gonna gel before we make our final decision on Man City to see how they're gonna do. Then we're gonna move to the team that finished fourth. I want to say big congratulations to Chelsea Football Club. You know, under this new ownership is the first time Chelsea are making the Champions League. You know, after being out of it for a couple seasons now. You know, now Chelsea are back where they belong, as Reece James said it. You know, proudly. You know, Chelsea are a Champions League team because Roman Abramovich himself make Chelsea, be that team. We fall off because we make a lot of changes, yes, and we could have done a lot of things better, with recruitment. But hopefully, we're gonna see where Chelsea's gonna go this season because this is the time where we are gonna know where this ownership really, really value Chelsea Football Club. Because if we go in the transfer window and we does not fix the problems that we got, then you know that we didn't learn from our mistakes. So we have to wait and see how we're gonna go in this transfer window. Now we got an opening in the transfer window where we can strengthen for the FIFA Club World Cup. So let us see after the game on Wednesday. I definitely think that we're gonna start. You're gonna start to hear players start to sign for the teams. especially Chelsea Football Club, because we definitely are now a Champions League team. So we can't say that we don't got Champions League football, so we can't get this striker, that striker. Now is the time to go for a target and hit the ground running, and get all of the necessary pieces that we need to fill this team, which we need a striker or two. We need two strikers mostly. The rest of the team can fill it out, but we definitely need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. So that's one of the biggest concern for me with Chelsea. You know, the next team that finished was Newcastle. It was an unfortunate one that Newcastle really make it because of the VAR. Or not even the VAR. 'Cause you can't blame VAR for the mistake from the referee, because I think the referee should have let the game play on. And then let it go to the VAR and then see against Manchester United. So I think that was a big blunder from the referee, because he should have let the game go on. But to be honest, I was praying for Manchester United to score anyway. So as a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't complain, even though we were winning. But you never can tell. Playing against Nottingham Forest at Nottingham Forest, I never know. So for me to see that Newcastle was losing, and also Aston Villa, it kind of keep me a little bit calm, because of anything could have happened in that Nottingham Forest game. So I was cheering. But after the game is finished and I really sit down and I really look at it multiple times, I see that Newcastle is a lucky one. Maybe just like last season with Chelsea. We finished to go in the European and the UEFA Cup, but because of Man City against game against Manchester United. Yeah, Manchester United beat Manchester City in the FA Cup final, push us in the UEFA Conference League. And that's not a place that Chelsea was really want to be, because I was looking at it that we could have been in the final against Tottenham. If you know Manchester United didn't force their way and win that FA Cup, it would have been us. So we'd have multiple ways to go to the Champions League. But again, Manchester United have paid back for their sins, because of they take care of Aston Villa. So I can say, well done, Manchester United, to pay back your debt, because you take a spot last season where it wasn't even yours. But as I said, all kudos to you, because you go there and you take it and you go straight to the final. It's just unfortunate that you guys didn't win it. I did want Tottenham to win it anyway, and that will be like me saying, because I'm a Chelsea fan, I think in the transfer window, Manchester United would be a bigger threat to Chelsea than what you would say a Tottenham. So I wasn't really worried about Tottenham really winning the UEFA Cup, because I know that if Chelsea and them going for a target, the target more likely to go to Chelsea than go to Tottenham. So Tottenham, I wasn't really worried or bothered about Tottenham and in the transfer window, because Chelsea are looking for striker, Man U are looking for striker, Arsenal are looking for striker, even Liverpool, and everyone is linking to the same striker. So it's just one of those things that sometimes you have to want to see your opponent fall, and that for me, Manchester United in that final, I definitely want to see them fall. So congratulations again to Chelsea Football Club, to make the Champions League. We're in the Champions League again. We're coming home. I'm not a singer, guys. Not because I got this guitar. I'm not a singer. Yeah, but we're coming home, where we belong. We belong in the Champions League as an entity and as a football club. So that's where Chelsea really belong, to be quite honest. And I want to say Newcastle, as I said, they're really lucky. I did really want Aston Villa to really make it more over, Newcastle, because Newcastle making Champions League, And without their spending money for the last 2 seasons, that can be very dangerous for all the teams in the Premier League, to be quite honest. If Newcastle get to splash some of those cash and make it a regular basic in that Champions League, it can be very, very dangerous for the rest of the team in the Premier League. And that's just my truth. So, who else was there? Nottingham Forest. I know they were going to fall off because their squad is not deep enough with talent. They got a good starting 11, but as they start to go to the bench, that's where my main concern was with Nottingham Forest. My main concern was mainly it was watching what they're really doing. In the latter stages of the league, you can see that players was tired, and soon as they start to get one or two injury, you can see the quality kind of dip a little bit, and I did have big faith that they were gonna fall off. I was telling a fellow friend of mine, a brother, we were having a conversation on in our group chat, when I was telling them, even with the Newcastle game, I was confident that Everton can go there and beat Newcastle. I was sounding like I'm crazy, but I know for a fact that Everton could have go there and get a point. So I know that was a tricky one. And the next thing again, I was confident that if Manchester United lose the European final against Tottenham, I know for a fact that they want to go out at Old Trafford with a bang. So I was keen on those things. That's why I was mainly going for Tottenham too in that final. Because if you check it out, right, and Ty can back me up on this, and my brother Jerry, like I was telling them all week that a Manchester United win would have been very dangerous for us because Manchester United wouldn't turn up today against Aston Villa. They wouldn't turn up because they were certain of a Champions League spot. So they would not turn up. They would have been sleeping because they would have still under the influence of alcohol and partying. So that one really went in Chelsea favor. And that was a big, 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 big plus for Chelsea. That Manchester, everything was written for Chelsea this time around to surely make the Champions League. Because if when we see Tottenham win that game, and we know for a fact that they were gonna have to play Aston Villa, which Manchester United would have turned up against Aston Villa. So that was a massive, massive, massive plus for Chelsea Football Club. That result in the UEFA Cup final, that was a massive result for Chelsea. And I was saying it all week long in the group chat. I just make a promise that I wasn't gonna start back any video at all until today. So that's why I didn't come on and say my truth on it earlier, because I said this was gonna be my return. This was gonna be the day when GFC Govan returned, because I know for a fact that Chelsea was gonna make it, and I was gonna make my return with a bang, because we got Champions League football, baby. Champions League football again. No more Thursday night. It's only Tuesday and Wednesday. So Champions League football is back at the bridge. Yes, guys, Champions League football is back at the bridge. What a way to close out the 2024-2025 season. Chelsea have closed out with a bang. Chelsea Football Club has closed out with a bang. On Wednesday, I probably do a preview for Wednesday game, but Chelsea can make history. The only team to complete European football. The only team to win every single thing in Europe. If we win that UEFA Conference League on Wednesday. So come on, you Blues. I know for a fact that Chelsea can do it. If Chelsea done that, I can say we got a magnificent season. For one time to see us at second, to one time to see us at sixth, fifth, roller coaster season, and to see us finish fourth, that's a big achievement for me in person. As I'm gonna say, Maresca wasn't my biggest problem this season. It would be my recruitment team. The recruitment team was the biggest issue for me because we did need a striker. In January, we definitely need a striker, and we did not get a striker. But, as I can sit here and I can be a proud Chelsea fan to say, we get the job done, but we cannot go next season with this problem. We have to solve this problem. We have to find the right striker. We have to find the right mentality striker. We have to find someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. We have to find a batsman. Doesn't matter how much, to be quite honest, we pay for that striker, even is a £1. Doesn't matter if he play League One, League Two, long as he's a serial goal scorer. That's the difference. That's what Chelsea need. It doesn't have to be $100 million striker. We just need someone to put the ball in the back of the net, and our fortune will turn next season. Next season, we can say yes if we get a batsman, because defensively we look more solidly defensive recently. You can see that Chelsea got a better and a more solid defensive unit. In midfield, you can see that we're getting better. Not perfect, but we're getting better. But we still need a out and out striker. And also, don't get me wrong, we still need, before we even think about defenders, we still need a winger that can score at least 10 goals for the season. We still need a winger. So we can talk. We can go talk to Rodrigo. We can go talk to Rafael Leao. We can go be up in this conversation for these player. This player that we know can bags goal and even give assists. We need to upgrade on our left side on our left side. We upgrade on the striker and also a left winger who can create and at least give us 5 or 10 goals. Our wingers is not consistent for me. And I think that's where Chelsea struggle a lot. Because with Cole Palmer, have to be dropping deep and not scoring goals, even though he's creating a lot of opportunities. We need someone else to take some pressure off Cole Palmer that can turn up, and score a goal here and there. And then you will see a different Chelsea. Without that, I think next season, only a striker not going to solve the problem. We need a left winger that can score goals also. And then we can think about the defense and also, the goalkeepers or whatever else, we want to talk about. But the main thing right now and the main focus is we have to get a left winger that can score goal and also get a striker. So it's not only like we need defender and goalkeeper. Sanchez been better in the last couple of games, to be honest, if I'm gonna be fair. But overall, we have to fill a little bit of void, on that left wing, and we have to fill the striker role. But overall, it's I would say it was a good season. Big up, bro. I can say for a fact, it's really really a big season, coming up, because if we does not get a lot of these signing correct, we're gonna have massive problems. So we have to get a lot of these correct. And I have to say, the main thing, it have to be the left winger and the striker. With the left winger and the striker, then we can say we're cooking. But other from that, without the left winger and the striker, we're gonna be struggling. Thank you, bro, for tuning in, bro. Yeah, you said, oh, you agree with me. That's the right thing. And with you on that. Oh yeah, bro, for real. Like, if we does not get a left winger and also get the striker, we're gonna have a problem, because Sancho, he's a good player, but he does not score goals, We need goals and we need more assists coming from that side. With the assists coming from that side and more goal coming from that side, we can be up there. We can at least be more challenging. Not saying we're going to challenge for the title, but we can see definitely that we're going somewhere, because I know for a fact a little more goals, from the left side, that definitely would put us in a better situation, and maybe we don't want to have to take it to the last day of the season. We probably be more certified, if we correct those, because as I said, not saying Sanchez is the best goalkeeper, but you can see he improved in the last couple of games. We got Petrovic coming back, so I wouldn't really worry about the goalkeeper this time around. I would fix the most important part. If a goalkeeper popped up that's better than everything that we got, then I can say yes. And for me, we definitely have to fix the left wing and also the striker. Without we fix those two places in the team, going to the Champions League, and compete in the Premier League in all four, we definitely will see a little bit of struggle. So we have to think about going into the market and fill those two before we fill anything else. Or less Escobar Williams can play on the left, which I saw him play left-sided forward for Palmeiras a couple of days ago, which he was on fire. I think he scored twice. But again, we have to take this into consideration too. Escobar Williams is a young player coming from South America who never played in Europe before. So we have to give him time to settle in. So we cannot go and depend on Escobar Williams to come in and hit the ground running. So that's why we have to go for a Rafael Leal or a Rodrigo. Even Nico Williams. Those are three wingers. If I see Garnacho come into Chelsea team, I'm gonna lose it. If I see Chelsea Football Club sign the likes of Garnacho, I'm gonna lose it. We cannot sign Garnacho at all. His attitude is stink. Let him stay there and rot in Manchester United. If we see we go for the likes of Garnacho, I'm gonna look and say these owners are not serious. We cannot afford to go for Garnacho. We should stay a millions mile away from Garnacho. We cannot go into the season with Garnacho in Chelsea football team. We don't need no more bad apple from Manchester United. We already have Sanchez, and he's very quite fine for me. If we're gonna keep him or send him back, it doesn't matter. If you're gonna send him back, get me a world class left winger. If you're gonna send him back, get me someone that can do the job, and I will keep him. I will have Neto, Madueke competing for the right side. I would have Sancho and a world class winger also compete for the other side. Yes, because I'm 100% right, Aston. For me, we definitely have to give Santos time to settle in. In January, I was calling him. I was calling for Santos to come in, but I was calling for him to come in from in January. A lot of people were saying that I was wrong. I should have let him stay. I should have let him stay there in Strasbourg, but Strasbourg wasn't my main concern. Chelsea was, because if you notice in December, soon as Lavia went down, the physical player that's in the midfield went down. Chelsea started to regress. We started to lose games. We started to win again soon as Lavia come back in the team. When Lavia was out of the team, that's when the form started to go, because Maresca tried to build around Caicedo and also Lavia, because Lavia was the man that made the Maresca football works. And Andre Santos for me is a physical midfielder, so I think he would have help us in that transition process. It would have helped us a little bit better. That's why I was calling for him to come back in January. A lot of people were saying, no, let him stay there, let him get experience, and he needed experience, which that's fine. That's fine for me. But I was being greedy. I was thinking about Chelsea, not Andre Santos development. But you're right. We need to give him time to develop. But he need to be in the squad. He don't need to go out alone. There's a lot of minutes there now for him to get minutes. This is the time that we can give him a lot of minutes to grow, to gradually grow. And the great thing about it, he's going to the FIFA Club World Cup. The biggest problem I got was with Escobar Williams. He should have been going with us, to the FIFA Club World Cup to gel. But the deal was, if we're gonna sign him, he would have to go with them to the FIFA World Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup. So that was the biggest kind of disappointment, because him coming in and be the understudy for Cole Palmer, that's why I was saying, if us really get a really serial winner left winger, Esteval Williams can be the understudy for Cole Palmer, and you still got Neto and Madueke competing for that right side, with Sancho, and also that winger. Then that I will say, that would be a very, very good rotational squad. We still got the likes of Alavia. We still got that guy that's coming in for Caicedo, and also Santos, and also we still got Tariq George. Tariq George is still there, so we cannot even take him out of the equation, because he was the one that started this comeback for Chelsea. A lot of people won't take this deeply, but Tariq George need his praise, because this run that Chelsea's on. Remember, we were on a losing streak coming into Fulham, or we're being poor. And remember that equalizer that Tariq George, scored, and build back that momentum. Give this Chelsea team that boots. And from then on, we only lose to Newcastle. Since that Tariq George goal, if we go back and look at it, that Tariq George goal was one of the goals that really put us back, back to where we really want to be. Because even though Pedro Neto was the one that scored that, the goal. All right, if you see right here, we're up against Fulham. Yeah, I'll pull it up. Up against Fulham, we win 2-1. If you notice, our last couple of games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. This equalizer for Tariq George with Pedro Neto, equalizer, winner. This is one of the things that really, really bring us back, to where we want to be. Let me go back again. Where did I go? Okay, here we go. So after that equalizer, then come Pedro Neto winner. Then we beat Everton. Then we go away to the UEFA Conference League. Then we come back and we beat Liverpool. And then we go Conference League again. Then, if you look at it, we lose to Newcastle. That was the only game against Newcastle, that we lost in the last 8 games. Then we beat Manchester United, and today we beat Nottingham Forest. So that to show you guys that it was the game that really started build the comeback for us. Yeah, that was the goal. That was the goal that really gave me hope, and that's you're 100% correct. That was the goal that really gave us hope, because after that equalizer, because we were losing to Fulham. and that equalizer, give us hope, and you can see that the momentum in the team really switch. From then on, you can really see the difference in this Chelsea team. You can see that this Chelsea team really, really kick on from that moment on. It you can see that from then on, it's just like the players start to believe again. Because for a minute, honestly, I think these players did stop believe for a little bit. But after that goal, you can see that the players start to believe again. We got some news from Fabrizio. It's not Chelsea related, but Napoli president, confirmed we want Kevin De Bruyne. We want to sign him. That's from Fabrizio. That was a couple hours ago. So Napoli's trying to look to sign Kevin De Bruyne. I still think there's a big player there. Big up, big up, big up, Jordan, bro. Big up, Champions League. Oh yeah, all the way, bro. So Napoli's trying to sign Kevin De Bruyne, which that's a definitely a statement signing after, lifting that Serie A title one more time. So if Napoli can pull that off, that would be a big thing over there in Serie A. Before we come back to the Chelsea, there's another news. Manchester United have confirmed that Christian Eriksen is leaving. Victor Lindelof and Joan Evans, which Joan Evans should be retiring right now, is also leaving. Garnacho is already leaving. I don't know about the goalkeeper Onana, but Manchester United already start their clearance. They're on clearance right now. They're clearing out all their baggage. Which is a good thing. You know, the man, the legend, the captain. Big up Reece James, the captain. Sure, bro. I will come on. I will come on for a little bit. Just send me the link. I'm gonna wrap up in probably 20 minutes, so you can send me the link. Yeah, we definitely need this conference league. We need it. I would be a liar, bro, if I sit here and tell you that we don't need it. We need these young players to feel, how it's our to be a champion taste. These young players need it. They need to taste something. If we really want to be in the conversation, we definitely have to win this thing. And I can tell you, if these players, taste the victory, of that conference league, I can tell you, man, that would be a different level of motivation for these young players. You know, it would be something special, for the young players. And young players need to taste something. Once a young player tastes something, they know what it tastes like. So they definitely need a taste of it. So you're 100% correct, man. I heard a lot of Chelsea fans is saying that they don't think that this conference league matter, but it do matter for me, because without this victory, it can be very, very different. So we definitely need our young players to taste something, to taste what it feels like, to become a champion. If you want to really challenge for the title in a couple of years, you need these players to go there, and you need these players to win this conference league. So when they reach another final, we know what to do, because it didn't help us when we lose against Liverpool. It didn't help us at all. It did not. I know a lot of people will say, it helped us, but it didn't help us.
because if we did win that League Cup, that would help us, push on, and these players would have already know what it takes. You can see the way they celebrate after we make the Champions League. You can see how much it meant to them. You know, you can see that it mean everything to these young players, because they definitely tried every single thing to do it. I'm just looking at some stats that these people got for more. Yep, man. I'm just so happy, man. I'm just so happy that we won, man. I'm just excited. You know, I wish it was something different. Like we finished above Arsenal. But I will take it. I won't sit here and complain. I would take what I get. And I get Champions League football, so I'm over one. But this Premier League season, man, I'm gonna just say it. This Premier League season is one to remember for every single one of us. Because this was a season where it wasn't easy, as how a lot of people make it sound out to be. It was very hard, because a lot of these big teams, so-called big team that we know, we can see how they struggle. They really struggle. To be consistent. As I said earlier, Liverpool was the only consistent team in the Premier League. And now, even also, Chelsea got a lot of players coming back that they definitely gonna have to get rid of real quick and fast. Because if you notice, we got like the Raheem Sterling, Ben Chilwell, and few more. We got a lot of players really coming back, so we definitely have to do something real quick, because a lot of these players we definitely have to let them go. You don't want to overbloat the squad. So you definitely have to do what you got to do early. But ladies and gentlemen, the Premier League season have come to an end. And as I said, you will see many, many more um, stream coming from me. You know, Austin, and thank you for tuning in, bro. Jordan, big up yourself, man, and all the viewers who's gonna tune in and see this, in the aftermath. But I want to say, man, I want to say thank you to each and every one that always support your boy GFC Garvin. I want to say, come on, you Blues. Chelsea have made the Champions League once more. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to rock and roll. Let's go. Yeah, man, it was a joy, for the season. You know, it was it was magnificent. To see the Premier League, a lot of teams, competing. Your Bournemouth, your Bradford, your Brighton. A lot of teams compete. It wasn't an easy season. It was a season where anyone can beat anyone at any time and any moment, and that's why we all love the Premier League. Congratulations to all the teams that finish. In the Before I go, I want to shout out the teams that haven't won any trophy for many, many years. Big up to Tottenham Hotspur. Win their first trophy for about 17 or 18 years. Well done to them. Big Ange never want to change his style, but he get his job done. I want to say, big up to who else haven't won a trophy for a long time? Bologna. Bologna in Italy. Newcastle. The first title for almost ever. I want to say the biggest big up to Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace, who haven't won a trophy in their history. So I want to say big up to Crystal Palace, to finally, get it done. I want to say big up to them because they got some form of blues over there, but they did their part. We got World Cup qualification coming up. England squad already named, the Reggae Boys squad already named. Gold Cup coming up, FIFA Club World Cup. I'm gonna see if I can do some watch along for those games. Because it probably be right in my time. But I want to say thank you to each and everyone that's tuning into your boy GFC Garvin. I'm back again. So keep on looking out for videos from now on. Try to be more consistent. My apology to each and every one. And I want to say peace and thank you guys. I love my audience. I love my new members. And I love the community that we're building. So I want to say thank you guys and peace.
Coming from a bad place, oh yeah. Trying to be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays all the niggas to be seafood. I always said this is that I'm staying around people. Finding my own path like I'm running.